The Dominican Republic has put new restrictions on Dominican citizens of Haitian origin, and just last week, a Haitian man was found hanging from a tree in the second largest city in the Dominican Republic. Here to discuss these events is Pierre. He's the publisher of the Haitian Times. Welcome, and thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Francesca.
So, Gary, first of all, explain to me what these new rules in the DR mean for Haitians who were born in the DR.
Well, basically, the rules is that the Haitians who were born in the Dominican Republic retroactively 1929. So basically, if their families came to the DR in 1929, they are no longer Dominican citizens.
They're revoking the citizenship of people who were at the time legitimately born in the Dominican Republic if they have Haitian descent.
Exactly, and they have to prove that they don't have any Haitian lineage, and that's a very difficult task.
As someone who is both Dominican and Haitian and also Italian, I find this whole thing ridiculous because it really speaks to what I think is a racial issue, the Dominican Republic being mostly white and obviously Haiti being mostly black. And to that end, just last week we saw a man lynched in the second largest city in the Dominican Republic, hanging from a tree, a shoe shine man who was working there. People said that, no, this was about a robbery and not anything about race. Do you buy that?
Well, it's really a personal dispute. That I agree with. But I think the government has created a climate by which people feel emboldened to do something like that. And the tragedy is that the Haitian government is so unstable that it really cannot do anything. And the international community, the human rights organizations, have done precious little. And I wonder if it was a white country doing that to a black country, what would have happened? I'm sure there would be outrage, and there should be outrage in this instance because this is unacceptable. This is going too far. Enough already.
Well, you just mentioned the lack of a Haitian government. We know that there have been, as is often the case, upheavals in the Haitian government. What do you think they could possibly do once a new government is formed and installed to help combat some of these measures that the DR is doing?
Well, I mean, I think this is beyond Haiti's capability. I truly believe that. Imagine, Francesca, if our grandchildren were no longer told they were Americans because they were not, their parents were Haitians or Dominican, and so they're revoking
even if
them.
They were born in the U.S.
And so this doesn't really make sense. And frankly, again, the Haitian government is so weak right now. There's very little that it can do because it depends economically on the Dominican Republic, so that it has to be real careful in its dealings with the Dominican Republic.
Why does the DR have such a problem with Haitians?
Well, there's a long history on that, and I don't think we have time right now. But the short version of it is that for 150 years, these two countries have been at it. But in the last 100 years, I think Haiti has been at the end of the stick. And, there's been massacres of Haitians by Dominican officials. There's been a lot of issues. I think part of the problem is that the Dominicans fear that the Haitian invasion of the country. Santiago, where this occurred, is a really interesting dynamic because there you have most of the universities there. You have a large percentage of Haitian students in Haiti. I think part of that ruling is that they're realizing that if this trend continues, come 20, 30, 40 years, whenever, that Haitians will be indeed a majority and most educated people in the country, and they are fighting that. But the way they are fighting it is really barbaric.
They want to be very nationalistic about the whole thing. Where do you go from here? I mean, where do the folks who are Haitians, who are, born in the Dominican Republic, what do they do? Where will they go?
Well, they are in limbo, essentially, unless the U.S., I think, is a power in the region, or world power, can really intervene in trying to broker and bring some sense into the Dominican government, because really this is totally unacceptable. Like I mentioned, it's amazing that this has gone on as long as it has.
Pierre, we are going to have to leave it there. Obviously, a very troublesome incident last week. Hope that we do not see a repeat of that, but we're going to have to continue to monitor the situation and see what the Haitian government, once it does coalesce, comes up with.
Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you so much for joining us.